Just taking a hot second here to get everything loaded in, and we are going to get started. So let me adjust my screen. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah, my name is Phil Kernia. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, I publish them online, and today we are playing with the new Dungeons & Dragons 2024, or 2026 rather, Unearthed Arcana for the Mystic Subclasses. Previous 2 episodes prior to this, we had resolved the Mystic Arts, Warrior of the Mystic Arts for the Monk. Saturday we had resolved the Oath of the Spell Guard and the Magic Stealer Rogue, and the last class for us to subclass to revise is the Vestige Patron. So we're going to be using the color mana, spell point variant rules, and martial powers playtest content that we have here on Google Doc. If you're interested in this content, we have the UA is on dndbeyond here. The Color Mana and Martial Powers Playtest Google Doc is linked here. It is a read-only document. It will eventually be on the DMsGuild alongside all of the 5 Color Mana Spell Point Variant rules that we've published on the DMsGuild already, which you can click here. It's a full bundle converting the Vancian magic, 8 schools and spell slots of D&D into a color mana system where it's the 5 colors of Magic the Gathering, and using the spell point variant rule so that spell points can be assigned devoted to color. So if you want to throw a fireball using red magic, you would spend 3 points of mana for a 3rd level spell. 1 point would be red and the other 2 can be whatever you want, but as long as you have one of the mana is red, you're good to go. So like if you're casting a bunch of low level 1st level spells, like if you're casting Guiding Bolt over and over again, that's a white radiant magic spell, so you would have to have 1 point of white mana for each time you cast Guiding Bolt, and when you run out of white mana, you can't cast Guiding Bolt even anymore. If you had like 15 white and 7 black, and you're casting a 3rd level Guiding Bolt, you can cast 1 for the white mana, and then the other 2 could be any combination of white or black. When you take a short rest, even if you don't get any mana back, when you take a short rest, you can devote your mana to different colors. So if you ran out of white mana and only had 7 black mana left, and you wanted to pop off more Guiding Bolts, then you can convert your 7 black mana on a short rest into white mana to continue firing. You can also prepare spells with downtime research to change what color a spell is devoted to. So these different spells, they all have 100% free preview. We're working with the Warlock today, so we're going to be using the Spell Point Warlocks based chassis. There's the old Dungeons & Dragons 2014 version, where your cost of spell points was a 1st level spell is 2 points, up to a 9th level spell being 13 points, which personally I think that's really weird that a 9th level spell is only 6.5 times more powerful than a 1st level spell. It's a little clumsy. So the revised universal spell point system that we use for color magic, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1st level spell is 1 point, 5th level spell is 5 points. Wish is the only 10th level spell in the game, and we give all full casters access to Wish at 19th level, and it will cost you 10 mana to cast it. So we push Wish back a little bit so that it doesn't start disrupting your campaign at 17th level. It starts helping close your campaign at 19th to 20th level. So it's a linear model, and if you're using the Pact mana that you use to cast levels 1 to 5, that's short rest. So you get mana back. You get one spell point at 1st level, and by 20th level, you get 20 spell points that you get back on a short rest. Starting at 11th level, when you get Mystic Arcanum, a 6th level spell costs 6 points. A 7th level spell costs 7 points. So between the 2 of them, at 13th level, you would have 13 long rest mana. Long rest mana can be used to cast any spell from level 10 to 1. Pact mana can only be used to cast spells up to 5th level. So if I didn't want to spend any of my long rest, like if I got rid of the Mystic Arcanum feature and wanted to open up that design space for more invocations or something else, then this pocket of mana that you get here could be spent just on spells level 1 to 5. And when you have spell points instead of spell slots, at 9th level, when I have access to 5th level spells, I have 9 mana. I could cast a 5th level and a 4th level spell for a total of 9 mana, or I could cast 9 1st level spells with 1 point of mana each. And if we're using the color mana system, we can then go look at the revised spell list, which is pay what you want, buy it if you wish, but the preview is full and complete, explaining the 5 colors, what those colors mean, what damage types are associated with each color. So between the aspects of magic, the descriptors of what magic is, and the damage that each color can do, you come up with a color matrix of white, blue, black, red, green. Cantrips don't cost any mana, but they still have a color identity, just like, say, a demon would have an identity of, like, say, black and red mana if it's a demon, or black and white mana if it's a devil, for instance, or like if it's a Yugoloth, it'd be black and green. So there's all these different, what are they? Modrons from Mechanist. They are white and blue magic creatures. So everything has a color identity, and so magic has a color identity. So mana is devoted to like Grease, for instance, is a red spell. It's generally like conjuration, creation stuff tends to be towards red or blue. Fog Cloud, fog is water and air. That's a blue idea. And green because of fog is clouds. Nature element is green. So blue and green, you could cast Fog Cloud as a 1st level spell by using either 1 point of blue or 1 point of green. So that's how the system works. On a Warlock, the mana is going to be either if you're going with 2 colors, like if you're playing a Boros Warlock, then your Mystic Arcanum will be 1 color, and your Pact Magic is a different color. Like Pact Mana could be white, and Mystic Arcanum could be red. So the Pact Magic uses white magic, so your Mystic Arcanum, your Pact Mana is always white, and high level magic is always red. So the Pact Mana would never be able to cast the red spells of 6th level and higher, but the Mystic Arcanum points that you get are considered both white and red, so that you would be able to cast your 6th level plus Mystic Arcanum spells as red magic, or you could cast it as Pact Mana as white. So the Warlock is a little unique in that the Mystic Arcanum can be devoted to 2 colors, your Pact Mana color and your Mystic Arcanum color. So an 11th level Warlock operates with 2 colors, while a level 1 to 10 Warlock only uses 1 color. That like while a wizard, for instance, might want to have red, blue, white, and green mana in their mana pool because of the variety of spells that they want to cast. That variety requires them to diversify their mana pool. A Warlock is more of a spell cannon. It rattles off spells that are all related to each other inside of that color identity. And when you gain bonus spells, those bonus spells can be any color that you want. So you could have a Rakdos Warlock and a Simic Warlock. Rakdos uses red, black. Simic uses blue, green. Those are 4 totally different colors. But if you both took, say, the Archfey Patron, then you could, if you are a Simic Archfey Patron, then all of your bonus spells could be cast with blue or green magic. If you are a Rakdos Archfey Patron using black and red mana, then all of these bonus spells could be cast with either black or red mana. While like a wizard, for instance, if I wanted Fairy Fire as a wizard, I'd have to have blue mana. If I want Calm Emotions, I would need to have red mana. If I wanted Blink, I need white or blue mana. If I want Greater Invisibility, I'd need blue mana. There's a huge, there's a lot of blue mana in this pile. So like this character naturally identifies with that blue phase sort of space. Dimir, Azorius, the green that we get from some of these spells like Plant Growth and Sleep, that has Calm Emotion. Some of these things are green in color, so like it has a real natural Selesnya white-green blend to it. So you can change the bonus spells can always be whatever color you prefer as a character, because these are your bonus spells. But when you prepare spells, you need to pick spells from the colors that you need. So our Rakdos Archfey would be able to use black and red mana with any of these spells, but as a Rakdos Warlock, I would choose either black or red to be my pack magic, and so like I would cast all these spells as red. And by the time I got to 11th level, I'll now get my black mana on top of that, and so I would then be able to cast these spells with red or black. And the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th level spells that I'm choosing, I would pick from black color devotion, and if the spell I wanted isn't devoted to black, I would spend downtime to research it so that it does become black for my character. So it's really easy to do that. And if you're using guilds or Strixhaven or Theros Piety system, of the renown system from Ravnica, the credit system from Strixhaven, and the Piety system for Theros, all of them work the same, and that the higher rank you have in those systems, the more access to like if you have 27 points of piety with Ero in Theros, the god of white and red magic, then when you pick up spells, you could go to an heroic temple and spend time there in meditation and not spend any money. But at the end of the time frame, you'd then be able to have researched a spell to be converted to the color that you want because of your devotion to Ero. So that's the idea. That's kind of the idea how that works. So walking through the Warlock real quick, not to get us too bogged down because I don't have a ton of time. We got about an hour. Yeah, I got about an hour or so for me to do to work on this. What is it? The Vestige patron. So I'm going to drop this here. I'm going to drop this down. If this stuff seems interesting to you, I stream often. You can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when I'm live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that I've already published on the DMsGuild. They all have free previews like the books I've been showing off already. They're chock full of art and ideas, and if you think they're cool, let me know. Like and subscribe here to stick around to see me doing artwork in the morning, game designs in the evenings and afternoons. That's my timer to make sure I don't take too much time talking about anything. So, all of my intro stuff out of the way. We're going to look at the Vestige patron today. First, to just run through how a color mana Warlock, some of the mechanisms that it makes use of. Let's look at our scaffold here real quick. Again, we're using the spell point system, the Mystic Arcanum points. Let's hit enter here so that drops down. One more time. There we go. Warlock. So we have level 1 to 20. Class features are largely unchanged, though there will be some things that we'll note down below. Invocations stay the same. Cantrips remain the same. Casting level, maximum casting level stays the same, except for with this system, we have a 10th level spell slot at 19th level. It costs 10 mana to use it. It allows you to upcast things to 10. And as we were discussing before, Wish is the only 10th level spell in the game. And our characters get access, and our Warlock gets access to that at 19th level, as do all the full-casters. If we use martial powers, and I don't think we're going to be using martial powers today specifically, but if we were, that's a half casting progression at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 17th level for us to take like strikes and maneuver, like battle maneuver type stuff that we can spend mana on, but it progresses at a half casting progression. Now we have the pack mana for spells level 1 to 5, which we get at 5th level by 9th level, and then at 11th level through 19th level, we get 6th to 10th level spells. So at short rest, pack mana, we get 20 mana for short rest by 20th level, like a monk does. At 20th level, that'd be 4 5th level spells that we could cast, but it could also be 5 4th level spells, 10 2nd level spells, 21st level spells, 8 3rd level spells with room left over for a 2nd level spell, and then the Mystic Arcanum points start in at 11th level with a 6th level spell, so you get 6 mana, then add 7 mana, and then add 8 mana, then add 9 mana, then add 10 mana by by 20th level, 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 equals 40. So we start with 6, and then we goose, we kind of half step up from 6 to 13 to 21. So 6, 9, 13, 17, 21. This is long rest mana that can be spent either on the Mystic Arcanum, or if you want to forgo your Mystic Arcanum, you have a heavy long rest battery on top of your short rest pack mana to all be able to cast spells up to level 5. So you have a huge battery, or you can spend like at 20th level, you have a massive battery of 60 mana and then another 20 on a short rest, or you can just spend all 40 of that mana just to like an Archfey. In this system, you don't get free casts of Archfey of Misty Step. Instead, we reduce the cost of Misty Step for your character to only be 1 mana. So a 20th level Feywild Warlock could cast Misty Step 40 times and then an additional 20 times for short rest. Let's look at our class features. Pack Magic, we just described it. Channeling, all that other good stuff. Worth noting, we like to diversify and open up casting stats a little bit. You can choose Intelligence or Charisma as your spell casting ability for your Warlock. It just makes sense to open that up, making it easier for you to multi-class into other stuff. If we use a power die, it starts as a D6, becomes a D8 at 9th, and then D10 at 17th. But I don't think we're going to be using powers today, so we're just going to leave that on the side. Let's see. Magical Cunning. As a 1-minute ritual, you can regain a total number of pack mana equal to the max spell level that you can cast as a Warlock. So a 9th level Warlock can get 5 mana back using Magical Cunning. Hey, what's going on, Steve? It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm back. We're working on the Vestige Warlock. See if we can get it done in an hour. Eldritch Invocations. Invocations work the way that you want. With this system, you can expend Eldritch Invocations and prepared spells to learn martial powers instead of magic spells if you want to, but we're not going to talk about martial powers specifically today. But the Warlock, the Paladin, Ranger, and Artificer gets access to both spell casting and martial powers, while the Barbarian, Fighter, Monk, and Rogue have access to only martial powers as half-casters. The half-casting classes can up to 5th level for spells and powers. The full casters, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Wizard, Scion, those are full casters, so they can only use spell casting magic, and they don't get access to powers at all. So the half casters get some of everything. The full casters only get spells. The martials only get martial powers. And so there's more. They each have the ability to prepare and spend mana to do things both in and out of combat, and the hybrids can work both. So you have these two clearly separate but similarly scaling power systems now, but they all use the same mana pool. So if you have 5 levels of Paladin and 7 levels of Sorcerer, you're going to have something like 34 mana as a Sorcerer, and what did I say? A 7th level, like a 9th level Paladin and a 7th level Sorcerer. A 9th level Paladin is going to get 9 mana back on a short rest. The Sorcerer is going to have 34 mana per day. So, and the Sorcerer doesn't separate sorcery points from mana. It's all just the same pool. So a Wizard would have 80 mana at 20th level. A Sorcerer has 100 mana at 20th level. And you can see here the Warlock has 40 plus a short rest. That's going to be 80 mana per day. And if you're using long rest for your Paladin, Artificer, Ranger, they're going to have 40 mana per long rest. And if you're using Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster with long rest, they have 20 mana per long rest. Or you can use the short rest monk system, so that all the martial characters and all the half casters all use the pack mana or focus point progression of 1 point per level. Different balances there. It depends on how often you're going to allow your team to take short rests, or if you're going to do gritty realism. Gritty realism, where you're only doing 1 long rest per week, favors short rest casters far more than long rest casters, but they also have less power, so it actually balances out pretty well. Just depends on how you want to spin your campaign. If you want to debate me on that, to join my Discord server down below and ask questions. I'm happy to run through math and explain theory to you, and it actually works pretty well. So Magical Cunning, 1 minute ritual. For a 9th level Warlock, we can get 5 points of mana back. We can do that once per long rest. Eldritch Invocations, we just talked about that. Subclasses work as normal. Feat at 4th and etc. levels like usual. Contact Patron at 9th level. You always have the Contact Other Plane spell prepared. With this feature, you can cast the spell without expending mana to contact your patron, and you automatically succeed on the spell's saving throw. Once you cast the spell with this feature, you can't do so in this way again until you finish a long rest. So you can always contact your patron to ask it yes or no questions at this point. That is an example of where I don't think you should spend mana. That's more of a plot device flavor ribbon than something that's actually practical and important for your character's performance during normal adventures. This is basically just a way for you to get access to some divination resources to create leads for you to get to the adventure that you're supposed to be spending your resources on. Mystic Arcanum at 11th, we just talked about that. A difference in spellcasting is pack mana. You can change pack mana 1 per day. Or rather, one per long rest. You can swap one of your pack mana spells. And once you get access to Mystic Arcanum, you can switch one of those per level. Let's see. Mystic Arcanum, Epic Boon, Beseech Patron. You can make an Epic Wish as detailed in the spell Point Warlocks. Epic Wish at 20th level. You get access to Wish as a 10th level spell at 19th because it's the only spell that is 10th level. So at 19th, you automatically get Wish. But then at 20th level, you can Beseech your Patron. And you can, basically the 10th level Wish allows you to duplicate a spell or any of the preset uses of Wish, like the defined normal uses of Wish. Those require 10 mana. If you just want to make up a wish and make it so, changing the fabric of the universe by beseeching your patron, the way that you do that, and it's explained in the Spell Point Warlock book that's linked down below. It's a free preview. It's pay what you want, so check it out. But the way that works is that the player and the DM open a dialogue. You spend 10 mana to cast Wish. That activates a dialogue between you and the DM, and the player describes what is it that I want this wish to accomplish in the game. And you can't do this until 20th level. So you're basically ending the campaign by throwing epic wishes at it to change the world, right? So, or you can, or it could be the way that you end the campaign as like your epilogue. But the way that it works is that you spend 10 mana to cast the spell, and then you have a dialogue with your DM. Hey, this is the change I want to make in the world. Like I want all forests to lead to the Feywild, and that might be something that you, as a 20th level Archfey Warlock, would be interested in having happen through your Archfey patron. You all agree that's a great flavor idea, and then depending on the severity of the wish, you permanently sacrifice mana to make your wish happen without complications. It happens the way that you intended. You basically tell the DM what it is that you want to have happen without any trickery, and the DM will give a price tag to that. That'll cost you X mana. And if you think it's worth that, you will spend and therefore permanently lose that amount of mana, but you have also permanently changed the world. And this is why we make this available at 20th level. You are retiring your characters anyway. Anyone that knows Full Metal Alchemist, the anime Full Metal Alchemist, will recognize the last episode of that series. Elric, the Artificer, the alchemist, that the main character in the story, he makes an epic wish, and he is willing to sacrifice to make that wish come true. And it's a really, really cool moment in the story, which honestly inspired this mechanic. And I've been using it in my game for multiple campaigns at this point. 3 different campaigns from level 1 to 20. We've capped it off with our full casters using epic wishes to change the world, and it's super fun. But if you haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist, my God, it's worth your time. And after the entire series, that last episode hits so hard. It's such a great emotion. It's really inspiring. And then we have a bunch of invocations. We'll skip through all that stuff. So that's the basic chally of the Warlock. It hasn't changed a lot. It's just spell points instead of spell slots. Gives you the flexibility to choose what level of spell you're going to cast at. But you don't have a lot of mana because it's short rest. Until you crack open Mystic Arcanum And then it's, do I want to cast high level, like do I want to cast high magic, or do I just want to spam the fuck out of my pack magic? That's a choice your players can make, and depending on your current adventure, you can change your mind. So that can always be rotated, just whenever you get mana. So we're going to drop down here into the Warlock subclasses. Let's get down to the new stuff. We've already translated every single subclass for every single class, including the Scion, into the color mana system in this document. And again, this document is available to anyone that's interested. All you gotta do is drop down here to the color mana and martial powers playtest document. It'll be a read-only document, but we will eventually be updating it and publishing it on the DMsGuild, which will have a 100% free preview, like everything else does, so you'll always have access to my material. You buy it because you want to support the effort and encourage another book. You don't buy my books to get access and then decide if you thought it was worth your money or not. You read the book and decide if it's worth your money or not, and if it is, maybe you'll give me some. Thank you. So that's enough. That's enough carrying on, don't you think? Let's crack this into a separate folder, and let's drop down here into the Vestige. Let's find out what's going on here with the Vestige. What time is it here? I've got about an hour and 10 minutes or so to be able to do this. So let's see if it happens. Let's see. So your pack draws on the power of a dying god, a being once worshipped by countless followers, but now abandoned and forgotten. This dying god, known as a Vestige, might have been benevolent, evil, or strange and unknowable, but now it is driven to regain its former power. The Vestige needs your help. It is willing to share its remaining strength with you. This is how we actually ran Dark Sun in 3rd edition, using the Binder class, which is where Vestiges came from. Binders found fragments of dying gods or far realm entities that don't have a lot of ties to the space, and they need a mortal soul to channel their energy through to experience the world. Hence Vestiges. In 3rd edition, you would choose a selection of different entities that you would want to bond to gain pieces of power from them, and it would change yourself, your mentality, your bonds, and your bonds and flaws and ideals would change based on what gods you would bond to, and your physical appearance would change with them. And you got special abilities like sneak attack, or like cast this spell, or turn invisible, or whatever. So I like this translation into the Warlock model. I think that works really well. I like the narrative there, just off the cuff. So, Vestige Companion. The Vestige, let's start at the beginning. Vestige Companion. So this is I haven't actually read this before, so I'm just experiencing this for the first time now. It's a pet class. Okay, sounds cool. Vestige manifests, aiding you to do so and drawing strength from your pact. It uses the Vestige Companion stat block and is a celestial, fiend, or undead. I don't know why Fae isn't available. Choose when you gain this feature. You determine what the Vestige looks like, but regardless of its form, the Vestige bears features indicating its supernatural origin. For example, you might decide your Vestige is an oversized floating skull etched with sigils, a circle of glowing runes, or a constantly shifting abstract shape. The Vestige is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your commands. It vanishes if you die. Vestige in combat, the Vestige acts during your turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is dodge unless you take a bonus action to command the Vestige to take the Vestige strike action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the Vestige can act on its own and isn't limited to dodge. Disappearance, when the Vestige drops to 0 hit points, it disappears. You can spend 1 minute performing a magic ceremony to manifest the creature again. It reappears with its maximum hit points. As a magic action, you can temporarily dismiss the Vestige in a pocket dimension as a magic action while it is temporarily dismissed. You can cause the Vestige to reappear in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you. Whenever the Vestige drops to 0 hit points or disappears into the pocket dimension, it leaves behind its space anything it was wearing or carrying. When you finish a long rest, you can summon the Vestige in a new form, which appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. You choose its appearance, whether it's blah 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 blah. Changes to a new one. I'm not gonna type all that out again. That's just Vestige Companion, C-U-A, Vestige Companion, C-U-A, for stats. Let's see, 1 minute ritual to re-summon a dead Vestige. Is that right? It was 1 minute ritual? You can spend 1 minute performing a magic ceremony to manifest the vestige again. It reappears with its maximum hit points. Okay. So no cost to bring it back. So that probably means we're going to want to make sure. No mana cost. I'm fine with that. Comment. Let's make sure the ranger doesn't have to spend mana to resummon a pet either. Or you can resummon as a magic action by expending 2 mana. So you can speed it up, get it back right away if you want. Otherwise, follow. Yeah, there we go. That's the only change I'm going to make right there. Because that's a lot of text for me to retype, and there's no reason for me to change these things. I'm pretty happy with them. So we'll kick through that. But we can at least look at it. So AC 13 plus your casting stat. And again, if you're using intelligence instead of charisma with our warlock, use your intelligence modifier instead. 4 times your warlock level. That's cool. Fire resistance for fiend, necrotic resistance for undead, radiant resistance for celestial, psychic damage for fae is appropriate. Immune to charm, frightened, prone. CR isn't a CR. PV equals your proficiency bonus. Pact bond. Add your proficiency bonus to any ability check or saving throw that the vestige makes. It's good. Vestige strike. Melee or ranged attack roll. Bonus equals your spell attack modifier. Ooh, I should turn my music down. I bet it's a little bit too loud. Vestige strike. D6 plus 3 plus your your casting stat. It's either fire, necrotic, radiant, and if we add in archfey, psychic damage. Bonus action, divine power. Once per day, your vestige manifests a remnant of its divine power. Actually, since we keep saying it, expend 2 mana. Include Fey vestige. Psychic damage. And there's invocations. Bonus action. Fey. Timely timer. Bonsu action. Bonus action for Fey equals, let's see what they can do. Divine power. Your vestige manifests a remnant of its divine power. Divine power once per day. Let's see. Cursed invocation for undead. The vestige places a curse on a creature that you can see within 30 feet of the vestige for 1 minute. While cursed, the target has the disadvantage on attack rolls against you and the vestige. Fiendish swap. If you and the vestige are within 60 feet of each other, you both teleport, swapping places. That feels more like a Fey thing to do than Fiend, but whatever. Healing touch, Celestials. The vestige touches another creature. The target regains hit points equal to 2d8 plus your charisma bonus and ends the condition of blind, deaf, and poison. So it's basically minor restoration plus a cure wound spell first level. So that's 3 mana mixed together. Teleport, swapping places. Fiendish swap. That's basically a long range, a longer range Misty Step that might be worth 3 mana. And then Remnant of Divine Power, and then Curse, disadvantage on all attack rolls against you. That's only worth maybe 2 mana at most for all attacks without having to maintain concentration. That's probably worth 2. Let's go with bonus action. Let's go with Trickery. How about Tricky Illusions? Period. The vestige creates the vestige turns you and itself invisible for up to 1 minute and creates 2 mirror images of you in your place. The mirror images, 2 mirror images as the spell. The mirror images and invisibility last until you or your vestige makes an attack, or casts a spell. There you go. So, easy enough. Fae are pretty cool. Vestige spells. Vestige spell list. The magic of your vestige companion ensures you always have certain spells ready. Select one of the following cleric domains: life, light, trickery, or war. The domain spells of your chosen domain are warlock spells for you. When you reach a warlock level equal to a cleric level listed in the domain spell, for example, you could choose the war domain. Oh, neat. Okay, I like that. When you reach a warlock level specified, you gain the domain spells of. You gain. How do they word it? Select one cleric domain. These spells are considered bonus warlock spells for you and are always prepared. Any domain. I don't think it should just be limited to these. I like the what I see here. What I really like for a Magic the Gathering direction. What's really exciting me about this is like if I am a warlock of Ao, for instance, the god of white magic in Theros, and I continue to build piety towards Eos. I could be a vestige patron of Ao, and I would have basically a small avatar of that god. Like if I had devotion to Nivea, I would have a small vestige of Nivea that traveled with me. I think that's super cool. And then the Theros book lists what domains are appropriate for for each of the 15 gods in Theros. This, I think, really leans into that in a really, really cool way. Yeah, I really like that. I think that's fun. So, yeah, I think that's really clever, and I approve that. And opening it up to any domain, I think, makes a lot of sense and is a lot of fun. So far, so good, so what, right? This is coming along really nicely. Very, very easily. Easy. So far, we haven't had to do any real mechanical conversions from spells into mana. But let's keep going. Your Vestige Companion now regains its use of its divine power whenever you use a short or long rest, or when you use your magical cunning feature. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I thought so, huh? Vestige Recovery. Your Vestige can now use divine, can now regain its divine power feature when you finish a short or long rest, or use the magical cunning feature. The Al-Qadim setting in 2nd edition, there was a I forget specifically what type of a wizard it was, but it was a unique wizard class that had a djinn, like an elemental djinn, as a small companion, just like this. And for you to cast a spell, you had to ask the djinn to fetch the magic needed to cast that spell. So often there was a time delay of a few rounds before the djinn would come back with the spell. So as you like at first level, you weren't a combat caster because it would take up to 3 rounds for the djinn to come back to give you the spell. So instead of being like a magic missile flinger like that, initially you would start off like with detect magic or something more utilitarian that might operate within a 10-minute or 1 hour time frame where you don't have to worry about your djinn disappearing and returning. But as you gained levels, like by 5th level, you could cast first level spells the same round that you got them. So then you could start cracking off magic missiles. It's an interesting delayed gratification, but the djinn was the narrative focus, and it would bring you any spell that you want. You didn't have to carry a spell book. It had them all. It was just that there was a time delay in getting them. I like that parallel here as well. I'm just noticing that it's a really cool parallel. Yeah, Alkadim was a cool setting. They put I didn't get into it nearly as far as like I did in the Dark Sun Planescape or Spelljammer. There's so many settings in 2nd edition. It was a little freaking crazy how widespread they were, but how much lore they dumped into all of those settings. Like any one of them would have been worth your time to spend with and become a master of, because they were all really well built, deep worlds. It was impressive. It was really impressive. But I just like seeing. I'm just noticing that parallel here between the djinn and the vestiges. So there's a lot of D&D history that's being chewed on through here. The binder class that literally had vestiges, and the Al-Qadim from 2nd edition, which had the djinn. I think there's a lot of fun play styles that we can see inside of this. Oh my god, yeah, it was so good back then. We were spoiled on narrative quality. But that shit was expensive. I don't blame Wizards for not diving into all of that again and rewriting all of it, because that would be a modern day audience nightmare. But at the same time, I wish they still sell these books online. You can still buy them as PDFs and stuff. I think it would be cool if Wizards would highlight 2 or 3 books a month that are from past editions. It's like, if you want to really lean into this hobby, here's some amazing flavor books that you can check out that'll give you massive campaign depth that we aren't reprinting. And they could rephrase it as, you can buy these books as PDFs for cheap and get good quality lore for low costs. And if there's enough interest, maybe we'll translate some of the stuff into 5th edition. Like, that could be a direction that they decided to go in. I could see them not doing it, but if I ran D&D, it'd go out of business for sure. But those are one of the things that I would do while it was going down. So, okay, let's keep at it. Sorry, tangent. Aura of Power. Yeah, I think it would just be able for them to acknowledge and celebrate their history while being able to leave it in the past for people to pick up if they want it, and just to draw to attention. We've been here for 50 years. Here's something from a decade ago, 2 decades ago, and 3 decades ago. And then 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades. And the next quarter will start over again. Here's something from 10 years ago, and blah, 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 blah. Let's revisit the past and see, and make an article about it. Like, how are these different things from the past are related, and what does that mean in 5th edition now? That would be a really cool series of articles to run with. It'd be cool if they had somebody that would invest time on that. So, your Vestige Companion increases in magical strength. As a magic action, you can cause the Vestige to manifest in an aura, in a 30-foot emanation that originates from the vestige. The aura lasts for a number of hours equal to your charisma modifier, or until the vestige disappears or is temporarily dismissed. You, the vestige, and your allies within the aura gain resistance to either fire, necrotic, radiant, or, if you're using the Fey option, psychic damage, and have immunity to the charmed and frightened conditions. Once you manifest this aura, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. I love how much stuff is cropping up that makes you immune to charm and frightened conditions, because in the martial power system that we've written, there's a number of things that screw over your action economy and automatically make you fail saving throws unless you are immune to charm and or frightened condition, in which case you can save either normally or with disadvantage depending on what the thing is. So there's a lot of like psychic and mental manipulation as powers to kind of represent psychic stuff going on. The martial power system we developed has like a pseudo psychic effect to it that our version of the Scion leaned into as a full caster, making use of psionic dice, similar to how monks use their martial arts die as a psionic die, kind of like the Psi Warrior has psionic dice, and the Soul Knife Rogue has psionic dice. The Scion has psionic dice, and the way that we built this system, they all work together. So it's a single system that multi-classing will like a Scion, Psi Warrior, Soul Blade. All like you can multi-class that Rogue, Fighter, Scion, and keep working and building your mana pool and your psionic dice to all curve and work together as you build up your character. So that's something you can do. Wizards didn't do it. It's more complicated and takes more attention to do something like that. But as a couture single third-party designer like myself, I have the time and no need of concern about profitability to explore those ideas to actually build those things. And we have, and they work incredibly well together. Maybe we'll spend some time on that specifically in the future if someone's interested. But in addition, when you drop to 0 hit points while within the aura, you instead change your hit points to a number equal to your Warlock's level, plus your Con modifier. The vestige is then dismissed into a pocket dimension and can't return until you finish a long rest. Okay, I like that. So you lose your vestige instead of dying. That's kind of like an off Artificer ability. I like that. I'm just going to grab this. Just going to grab all of it, because we're almost done, but I'm also almost out of time. So I'm going to shortcut and drop paste. Look at me. It's 12:42. We're actually making really good time today. I'm really surprised. Increases your. Thank you. We'll go to here. As a magic action, you can cause the vestige. The aura lasts a number temporarily and there. As a magic action, you can cause the message to manifest an aura of that. The origination of vestige. The aura lasts a number of hours equal to your Warlock spell casting modifier. Because again, we can use either intelligence or charisma with this version of the Warlock, depending on how you want to multi-class or what narrative you want to lean into. It disappears. It's temporarily dismissed. You, the vestige, and the allies within the aura are resistant to fire necrotic. Fire necrotic, radiance, and radiant magic, and have immunity to charmed and frightened condition. Once you manifest this aura, you can't do so again until you finish a long or short rest. In addition, or expend 5 mana, no action required. So you can spend 5 mana to get this aura back. Actually, at level 10, it should be 4 mana. In addition, when you drop to 0 hit points within your aura, hit points equals the number of Warlock hit points plus your Warlock spell casting modifier, either intelligence or charisma, is then dismissed. The dimension can't return until you finish a long rest. Until you regain this feature. $14. Forest 3. Let's 10th level around 30. If you're a half caster, it's 1 mana up to 4th level, 2 mana up to 8th level, 3 mana up to 12th mana. 12 mana, 4 mana up to 13 mana, up to 16 mana, and then level 17 plus when you gain the ability, it's 5 mana. Like the Paladin's Aura that you get at 20th level, it costs 5 mana to get that back. While a feature like this at 10th level, that should be 3 mana, because 9, 10, 11, 12 is the 3rd level range for half-casters. That's generally the price tag that we put on things that you can only do once per long rest and then get them back by spending mana. So easy enough. And our last feature, holy Hannah, we're making great time today. Semblance of Life. Okay, let's see what you're all about. Semblance of Life. Your vestige companion continues to grow and strengthen. With your assistance, it can briefly adopt a more powerful form depending on the vestige's type. You can cast one of the following spells with the vestige is within your 90 feet of you without expending a spell slot or needing material components. Summon Celestial, Summon Fiend, Summon Undead, Summon Fae. Summon Fae is a spell, isn't it? Is that a spell? No. Oh, wait. Summons Archfey. Summer Archfey. Summoner Archfey. Summon Archfey. Huh. Okay, let's just go with Summon Fae and see where that leads us. No, I said Fae. Okay, fine. We're here anyway. Summon Fiend. Yeah, let's look at... We need Summon Fiend anyway, so let's look at level spell that is. That is 6th level. Summon Celestial. 5th level. Summon Undead. 6/5. Hold on. Huh. When you cast a spell with this feature, the vestige becomes a summoned creature. Its game statistics are replaced with the summoned creature. When the spell stat blocks the spell's level, the spells by the summoned creature stat block, the spell's level is equal to half your Warlock level, rounded down, maximum level 9. Okay. And the spell's duration is 1 minute. Once you have cast the spell this way, you can't do so again. Okay, great. So let's go look at Summon Fae real quick. I'm sure that's a spell. We can word this better. 3rd level. Higher stat block. Okay. Clickety click. We got... Man, we're doing really good on time. So, okay, we can reword this. So let's reword it. We can build it better. Semblance of Life. Adopt your... depending on your vestige type, you can cast one of the following spells while the vestige is within 90 feet of you without expending a spell slot or needing material components. I'm fine with this not casting a spell slot because we're just transforming the vestige that we have. Normally, I don't like giving you access to free spells. Spells that you can spam. Like, if it's a spell that, like, you can cast this spell for free a number of times equal to your stat. Those spells we don't make free. Instead, we reduce the cost of the spell. Because those are typically 2nd and 3rd level spells, like Misty Step or Bestow Curse. These are 2nd and 3rd level spells that you can cast multiple times based on your charisma modifier. We don't like giving you free spells in the game to spam because you get so much mana, you can spam the spells on your own. In fact, we want you to spam spells so that you'll burn through your mana pool. So we don't... They give you... Just as a quick statement, Wizards gives us free castings of low-level spells now because they can quietly, without saying it, admit that spell slots are too limited. A mana pool is so much better for class design. Like, we've built all 14 classes and all subclasses to use mana as a default, and all of them multi-class together better. They synergize better. You can have more costs Like you can do kicker effects by just spending an extra point of mana here and there. You've got a big pool. Go ahead and put 5 points of mana on that Misty Step so you can do 2 explosions, heal somebody, and teleport an ally when you take Misty Step. Go ahead. You've got tons of mana to do that. Go ahead and Nova. We want you to do that. You don't need a free casting of Misty Step that triggers one of these abilities when you use it. Instead, it's like, no, casting Misty Step will cost you a point of mana, and each of these kicker effects that you want to add on to it, add a point of mana, and you can accumulate features. Like you can cast Misty Step for 1 mana, add another 3 points of mana. You can do an explosion upon arrival, explosion upon exit, and gain temporary hit points while you're teleporting. Like those are 3 kicker effects that you can spend for 1 mana each to juice up your Misty Step. So that Misty Step would actually cost you 4 mana, but you did 4 things with it while with that single bonus action to cast Misty Step. It's a really cool, efficient system that gives your characters a ton of additional customization within the framework that already exists without making anything too OP. So it's 4 mana. It's a small teleport with a little bit of damage here and there and some temporary hit points. That is worth a 4th level spell. So the scale, like in that instance, the scaling is good. Anyway, Semblance of Life. So depending on the vestige type, you can cast the following spell. We get it for free. Summon Celestial, Summon Fiend, Summon Fey, Archfey Vestige. I know this is in alphabetical order, but screw you. Or Summon Undead Vestige. When you cast the spell with this feature, the vestige becomes the summoned creature. Its game statistics are replaced by the summoned creature's stat block, and the summoned Fey has a Fey Spirit stat block that gets modified by the level, by the spell's level. When you cast the spell with this feature, the vestige becomes a summoned creature. Its game statistics are replaced by the summoned creature's stat block. The spell's level is equal to, this is a weird way of wording it, equal to half your Warlock level. That's just repetitive language that they can use for any class. But now that every single class in the martial power system and spell points all have either up to 5th rank of power or up to 10th level spells, we can instead change the wording to the spell's level equal to your maximum spell casting level gained as a Warlock. So if we've gained 7th level spells as a Warlock, we can cast Semblance of Life as a 7th level spell for free once a day. And the spell's duration is 1 minute. When the spell ends, the vestige returns to its previous form. Once you have cast this spell this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast this spell using Mystic Arcanum points up to the maximum level gained as a Warlock. So if I want to spend Mystic Arcanum points, I can cast the spell for free. Like at 14th level, I can cast a spell for free for 7th level. But Summon Fey is a 3rd level spell. And at 14th level, I've got 13, 15, I've got 18. I've got 18 Mystic Arcanum points at 14th level. So if I wanted to, I could cast Summon Fey as a 3rd level spell slot, which is only 3 mana out of my 18 Mystic Arcanum points. I can then cast Semblance of Life as a 3rd level spell to fetch my, to turn my vestige into a 3rd level Summoned Fey, if I wanted to. For whatever reason, I would want to do that. Maybe that's all the points I got left. Who knows? Whatever. Anyway, reasons. But if I'm a 19th level Warlock, I could spend 10 mana. I can get it for free as a 10th level casting once per day, but I could cast it again for 10th level if I wanted to. How long does it last? The spell's duration is 1 minute. When the spell ends, the vestige returns to its previous form. So at 19th level, I could spend an additional 10 mana from my 40 mana pool, Mystic Arcanum points. I can spend 10 of them to cast it again. The Mystic Arcanum point, once I have access to a spell as Mystic Arcanum, I can cast that spell over and over again. but I'm going to run out of Mystic Arcanum points. So if at 19th level I have a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 level spell, so I can cast 5 spells of level 6 or above. These are called high magic spells. Common magic is there's cantrips, which is 0 mana. There's common magic, which is up to 5 mana, 1 to 5 mana. There's high magic, which is 6 to 10 mana, and then there's epic magic, which isn't a spell. It isn't a spell. I mean, it's a 10th level spell, but epic spells permanently destroy mana from your mana pool. So every time you cast an epic spell, it reduces the total amount of mana that you can regain on a long rest. And you can burn yourself down to 0 mana, so all you can cast after that are cantrips. So that's an interesting. But again, you don't get access to epic magic until 20th level, where the game technically ends. So you can basically just start burning off mana permanently if you want to create permanent effects in the game using Epic Wish. But like at 17th level, when you've got 30 mana, you could cast, you've got 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. I could cast a 6th level spell 4 times, or I could cast a 9th level spell 4 times, a 7th level spell 4 times, an 8th level spell 4. I can cast, or a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I got four uses of high magic per day. But if I got 17th level, I've got 30 mana, I could cast 3 9th level spells for 27 mana, and then I'd have only 3 Mystic Arcanum points left over that I could then, like, say, cast I could cast Summon Fae for a 3rd level spell, for instance. So those are your options. Like, that's how flexible the system is. The normal full casters get 2 6th level, 2 7th level, an 8th and a 9th level spell. That's a total of 6 spells. That totals 12 plus 14 is 26, 34, 43. That's 43 mana worth of spells that they get with 2 6th, 2 7th, 1 8th, 1 9th. With this system, you get 40 mana, a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th level spell. And if you just cast those 5 spells, 6 through 10, that's your 40 mana. But instead, I could cast 6. I can only cast up to 5, so I could cast like 5 6th level spells for 30 mana, and then I have 10 mana left over, but I've ran out of high magic. So those 10 points of high magic, that Mystic Arcanum points I have left over, I could cast Shield 10 times with it, because Shield's only 1 point each, for instance. So it gives you a ton of flexibility inside of your character. All the full casters work that way. But yeah, that's the class. Technically we're done. It's only 1 o'clock. That was pretty efficient. We are done. That was really cool. Okay, so that completes the Mystic Arcanum, the Mystic UA series. We've got them all done. Let's see. What are we going to do on Saturday? The next time we're going to be touching martial powers is going to be on Saturday. We're going to rebuild some of our... We're running 8th level playtesting using Strixhaven's Mage Tower combat machines. So we're building 8th levels characters, and we're basically playing 5e combat rugby with spellcasting. It's Mage Tower. It's like Quidditch without a magic broom that you can just run along the ground and cast spells at each other, beat each other up, steal the ball, score a point. Your goal is to score points, but if you kill everybody on your enemy team, they can't stop you from scoring a point. But all the damage is temporary. So whenever you score a point, all temporary damage is wiped out. And when if it's a hour-long match at halftime at the 30-minute mark, real time, like a match runs 1 hour real time. So the bigger your team is, the less rounds of combat you're going to have. Sure, you might want to switch to a different mode, but like if you have like up to 3 players per team, you can do 1 hour matches, and then at the 30-minute mark, that's when you get your half rest, regardless of how much mana you spent or whatever. All concentration effects and ongoing effects drop. You get all of your mana back for short rest casters. Long rest casters can take their arcane recovery to get some mana back. All the marshals and hybrid casters, they get all their mana back. All your temporary hit points go away whenever you score a point, so you can kill each other over and over again, arena combat style. But if you can't beat them in combat, then maybe you just want to steal the ball and run like hell. to score a point to keep them from killing you and reset your hit points. It's a really fun system. If you're into tactical combat and you like 5e D&D in general, Mage Tower Combat Sport is super fun. And we're looking for more playtesters on Saturdays. The link to my Discord where we're playtesting, that's here. It's free access to join. We're building 8th level characters. You could build a martial power or mana character if you want to, but it works just fine with D&D 2014 and 2024. Use whatever kind of character you want, but if you want to show up on Saturday morning to throw some mana around with us, we have space. We are not going to. We could have teams up to 4 on each side. Currently, we have 3, so more people are very welcome to join. And if it's an odd number, then I don't have to DM. I could just play a character on whoever is short of. I can fill in a space on whoever's team is short and actually play alongside you, because the rules are the rules are the rules. You can't score fouls. We already trim all the spells that are illegal off of your spell list, so it's impossible for you to break the rules of the game. So while you're playing Mage Tower Combat Sport, you don't need a DM unless you're making it part of an ongoing campaign, and this is just a mini game inside of your campaign. Or you could just run PvP combat as a sport team, scoring points in rugby and killing each other in the process, instead of just doing a PvP kill all 20th level arena. No, instead make 20th level characters and design them to have a strategy to score points and to synergize with your team to be able to prevent the enemy from scoring points and for you to more efficiently score points. And whoever builds the stronger meta and has the better tactics and die rolls is going to end up winning the match. It's actually a lot of fun. Highly recommend. I'll be looking at it again on Saturday morning before we go into playtesting. So anyone that's interested, like, subscribe, stick around, join my Discord, and ask questions. 8th level this weekend. Next weekend will be 10th level, then 12th level, then 14th level, 16th level. By the end of March, we'll be at 20th level. And we'll have had a chance to run through this, at least a few hours of game at every level, using these combat mechanics to see if it works. And assuming that it still plays smooth through 20th level, we'll bond it all into rules, and we'll publish them for everybody to play Mage Tower. So that's the idea. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here now. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be back on. We're going to continue doing Eberron adventure artwork for the book that we're publishing in about a couple weeks. Thursday night tomorrow, we'll be working on Spelljammer, Eberron, Kaiju, Mecha, Bastion, XCOM campaign, building asteroid communities for our mecha to protect from Kaiju. And then Friday, we'll do more artwork. Saturday morning, we'll do the more visiting martial powers for sports. And then we'll be back on Monday to do it all over again. So thanks a lot, everybody that's been hanging out with me and chilling. Steve, thanks for the conversation. I really appreciate you being around. I appreciate everybody that's decided to poke through. Thanks a lot, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. And I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Later.